Oh, jump scare. Jump scare. Hi, guys. Sup? What's up, gamers? Happy Friday! Beep, 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 beep. I hope your Friday's going better than mine! But yes, hello, friends. Welcome. Welcome to the stream where we will hopefully actually be able to have a stream this time. I really hope. I really hope. But yes. What happened? Oh, several things. I'm sure I'll talk about it later. TLDR, I'm mad at Discord, and I'm mad at the YouTube comments, and I'm mad at the headache that all of that is giving me. But yeah, so welcome to stream, where we are just gonna draw. I have a couple of itty bitty babies sketched that we are going to be inking and coloring, and I don't know if we're gonna get through all of them. We probably won't. But we will draw as much as we can. And we're gonna start with Lapis because I like her, and her campaign is this Sunday. So we're starting with her, and then we will move along to other folks. But it's Lapis hours. So it's Lapis drawing time. Lapis in parentheses and Dave, because Dave is also here. But yes, also, before we get started, I just want to point out to the lovely people in chat, in case you haven't noticed, we've got a little bit of an ad over in the corner there for Vector's makeship plushie. We have about 5 days left to get to 200 pre-orders for the Vector plushie campaign, and we're about 20 pre-orders away from that. If you don't have the money right now, but you know you will within a couple of months, you only have to pay $2 right now to pledge, and then the rest of the money will be withdrawn out of your account later. Just, you know, be responsible with that. Make sure that you actually have the money in your account in early December when it is going to be officially launched. But yes, we're only about 20 people away from Vector plushies being made. So if that is something that you are interested in, make sure to, there is a link in the description below the video. There is also a link in the pinned comment at the very top of chat. So yes, if you want a little mini Vector like this one, you can get yourself one and do with him what you will. But we can only do that if we get enough pre-orders to make them a reality. We're getting very close, though. We only have like 20, we're only like 20 people away, so. Oh, just for the record, Sly, I see you trying to make Vector talk. He actually is too shy today, which means, AKA, VTS Pog isn't working for some reason. It would not connect. So, Vector's going to be quiet today, unfortunately. He will not speak, but I did not want to, remove him because he can still sit there and look cute and advertise the plush. So, you know, he's overwhelmed by himself. He is. He doesn't want to talk today. But yeah, we're gonna draw a Lapis. And then some other characters, depending on how quickly we finish. We do some Frankie plushies after. Any other characters getting made depends entirely on how well the Vector plush does. If the Vector plush does, like, huge numbers, I will consider doing other characters. But the boy has to do well, you know? I would love to do everybody, but it is going to very much depend on how well the Vector does. Yeah, the nice thing is that, and the reason I did this through makeship as opposed to something else or just doing it myself, is that makeship is handling all the hard parts for me, which is like, so nice. Like, they're handling all the crowdfunding bits, they're handling, like, getting the plushies manufactured, they're handling customer service and getting them shipped out, and doing all the hard parts, essentially. So that I don't have to. Because, like, I could, you know, like, find a manufacturer and get, little products made, and then not be entirely sure how many I'd have to make, and la-di-da-di-da. But makeship is helping me do all the hard parts, so everybody say thank you, makeship. Sorry guys, chat's going real fast. How much money did you have to pay to make the first plushies? Oh, I didn't pay anything. Makeship has an application form on their website. I know that sometimes they will reach out to specific creators, but in my case, I put in an application and they said, you're probably gonna get this, so send us some art for like a product page and we'll put a petition up on the website and we'll see how many bites it gets. And I said, cool. So. It's not shady or anything. Makeship has a very, very good track record. They have worked with a lot of other content creators before. From what I understand, they mostly work with like YouTubers, but they have, I mean, you can go on their website and you can see like all the different people that they have worked for, worked with, etc. They have an extremely good track record from what I understand, so I'm not worried about it. I even like, I have some friends I know who have worked with them in the past and done really well, so. But yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. And I think that these plushies will be much better than the alternative that I was going to do, which was, you know, just like make little pillow plushies of all the characters, which I might still do at some point, but I wanted to, you know, get like actual character-shaped plushies made at some point, because those are the best kind, right? Those are the best kind, right? Yeah, gotta turn the tolerance up. But yeah, so what else has happened that I didn't get a chance to talk about on the last stream before Spectrum exploded? Love when my internet works. Oh, so I mentioned this on Blue Sky, but I have not said it elsewhere. Next video, probably next Friday. That's my goal, and that should be fairly easy to do. I recorded the art time lapse for it yesterday. I recorded the audio for it today. I think it should come together pretty quickly over this weekend, and then I can have that out next week. So, thumbs up emoji. Thumbs up emoji. The topic of the video is Star's favorite things in media, because I did the pet peeves video, and that one did, like, stupid well. And a few folks on my Discord said, hey, it would be cool if you did kind of the opposite of this, where you talked about stuff you really do like. And I was like, well, I do like to talk about the stuff that I like, so let's do it. So it's gonna be like a 20-minute long video of me just talking about my favorite tropes and art style stuff and why I like them and media that uses them, etc. And so that's gonna be fun. And that video, I think I mentioned this in the past, but that video will also have some traditional art footage in it because Ohuhui sent me more stuff. They sent me some new markers. So I'm recorded the footage for that a few days ago. Yippee! But yeah, it's actually been kind of funny. I've had sponsors banging down my door for the past couple days, and I'm just like, guys, I only do one video a month. Please hold. Please hold. Please wait in line. I would love for all of you to give me your money, but we have to have a system here. This is all gonna fall apart. But yeah, so that's, you know, it's a good problem to have of too many sponsors, too little time. I will say, Skillshare just like freaking loves me. None of them are BetterHelp, Dawn. Jesus, you think I would say yes to a BetterHelp? A BetterHelp sponsorship? Jesus, no, absolutely not. Although one of them, a very common one that you guys have definitely heard of and probably made fun of in the past, did reach out to me as of this morning, and I was joking to some of my friends, oh my god, I get to check off one more on my YouTuber bingo! Let's go! So I haven't emailed them back, mostly because my waiting list is already so long. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not Raid Shadow Legends! It is not Raid Shadow Legends. That's the free space on the YouTuber bingo. But yeah. Raid Shadow Legends is one where you don't even have to, like, get reached out to by Raid Shadow Legends. If you make an account on, I think, like, Stream Elements, you can do a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. They will take literally anyone. Those sluts. I'm kidding. I will not say who it is, but I will say that there have been some correct guesses in chat already. I will say that there have been correct guesses in chat, but I will not say which guesses are correct. You guys will have to keep guessing. Mods, I will tell you guys later if you want to know. But yeah, I've just been like, I was writing up my plans for my next few videos on my bulletin board today. I have a whiteboard in my room that I use for stuff and just like planning of things. And I was trying to figure out, because, like, you know, I do one video a month. That's a pretty decent pace for me. I can keep up with that. And so I was trying to think, is like, okay, so my next video is gonna be sponsored by these guys. And so, you know, I try to kind of tailor what videos I make to the sponsors that I have, because I feel like that, you know, higher return rate. Cause like, okay, so I've been sponsored by Skillshare twice now, right? And so you know, whenever Skillshare is like an educational thing, right? And so I've tried, whenever I get sponsored by Skillshare, I try to do some kind of tutorial content. So I did like my character writing video that was sponsored by Skillshare. My Narrative Academy video, was sponsored by Skillshare. And so I try to tailor it. And so, like, you know, when I got sponsored by Ohuhu with, like, those markers they sent me, I made a video talking about traditional art and doing all that stuff. And so, you know, I try to tailor it. And so now that I have kind of like this list of people who want to sponsor me, I'm like, okay, I want to keep this focused, you know, I want to like tailor stuff, but it's getting harder. So more and more, the people are coming at me. It's like, again, it's a good problem to have, but it is still making me think, it's like, okay, I could do this video, I could do this video. It's like, okay, that would be a good topic given the sponsor for this video, but would I be able to do that in time and la-di-da? And also it's like, I kind of want to, you know, not do anything too overly ambitious, because I really want to finish the D&D video by the end of the year, and that's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to try and spend like my whole weekend working on that, honestly. Or at least like one full day of my weekend, just because I just want to get it done! I want to get it done, and I want it to be finished, and I want it to exist. Ah. But yeah, so like my problem right now is I have too many ideas, which again is like a good problem to have, but also it is just like I have to choose now between all my different stuff. Because like I still want to do that character writing video. I still want to do a bunch of different stuff, but I might do a character design, or not a character design, an art style challenge for November's video. I haven't figured out October's video yet, but based on the sponsor, I might do the character design video, or I keep messing it up in my head. I might do an art style challenge video for November because that kind of works with the sponsor that I'm probably gonna have for it. I still have to decide on October. I was originally thinking that the art I'm doing right now would be for my October video, but I am not 100% sure that I can do 20 character illustrations before, like, in a month, and then have the video out by mid-October, because that's when they want it. When will YouTube members get the next video? When it's done. It's not done yet. I gotta finish it first. Y'all will get it at least a day early, but I haven't finished it yet, so patience, please. Yeah, so art style challenge video coming through the pipe potentially. Got to figure out my October video. And so the art that this, or the video that this art is going to be for, the stuff that I'm working on right now, is going to be, I think I mentioned the idea for this last stream before everything exploded. But I want to do a video where I just talk about all of my OCs. Just like all of them. I think I did mention this, yeah. But that does involve me doing, you know, a lot of different character art for like one single video. Depending kind of on how it shakes out, I might divide it into 2 videos, just because I don't want it to be an hour long. So really, I shouldn't be doing this Lapis drawing first, because she'd be in the second video, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I love my baby girl, and I want to draw her because I'm playing her this weekend. Lapis very much has Sophie Howell's Moving Castle dress, but in black instead of blue or green. That's what it's based on. I'm just thinking now, it's like, you know, if I split it into 2 videos and did about 10 characters each, I could have the first part be my October video, and that would be fairly simple, because I've already finished scripting most of it. I might do that. That would be nice and easy. I love it when videos are easy. But yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Hey guys, please remember to keep chat on topic. I see a lot of like random questions in chat, and I would like to just remind you guys of the rules. We need to keep chat on topic with what I am talking about, just because it makes things a hell of a lot easier for me to keep track of what's going on in chat. I can't answer every single question, and I'm sorry. But spamming the same question over and over again is not going to get your question read. You're just blocking up chat, essentially. And I am 100% more likely to answer questions that are relevant to what I am doing right now. I say this with love. I'm just reminding you guys that is in the rules. Why can't we ask off-topic questions? Because I am hideously ADHD, and if I stop to answer every off-topic question I see in chat, this will be an extremely unpleasant stream. Just trust me on this one, gang. I am hellaciously ADHD, and if I stop to answer every off-topic question, we will never answer any of them. I will get about a quarter of the way into answering a question, and then I will get distracted by something else, and then we will never go back to that first one, and it will be unsatisfying for everybody involved. And you guys will not enjoy the stream. So we're gonna keep the questions on topic, and if you guys have any other questions, you can ask them in the comments after the stream is over. Or you could ask on my Discord as well, and people can answer them for you. But yes. How did you come up with her name as Lapis? She's blue. That's it. I wish I was joking, it's not. She's blue. So it's actually, there is actually an in-universe reason for why her name is just Lapis, because she is blue, though. So I can talk about this now. Okay, so baby girl here has a lot of stuff going on in her backstory and like all of her nonsense that I am hesitant to give out details on, just in case any of my fellow players come across these videos and try to get secrets. And I like to keep my secrets until they are revealed in game. But some of her secrets have already been revealed in the campaign, so I can talk about those parts at the very least. So, Lapis has amnesia. She woke up on the street about 6 months ago, no idea who the hell she was, and all she had on her were the clothes on her back, a harp, like a mini harp, and a knife. And she's like, okay, well, I have this harp and I know how to play it. She, you know, she tried and she could play it and she figured it out. And she's like, okay, so I have this, harp that I can play. I must be a bard. And also I have amnesia and I really, really, really want to know who I was before I lost my memory. She spent some time, you know, just like walking around town trying to make herself noticeable. But also she has crippling anxiety. And so she tried, you know, going up to a couple of random people and being like, hi, this is gonna sound weird. Do you know who I am? And she got enough weird responses from that she's like, okay, I can't do that anymore. That's too nerve-wracking. She's riddled with anxiety, by the way. She's not a tiefling, she's an elf, for the record. But she has now decided, like, okay, well, I have this musical instrument. So clearly I'm meant to be a bard. What if I just try, you know, performing in various places, and then someday the people that I have, or like the people who know me, maybe someday they will see me performing and they will, like, you know, come find me and be like, hey, I know who you are. You're actually like my daughter or my sister or whatever. They will recognize me and then they can help me figure out who I am. And that also has not been going well because of the aforementioned crippling anxiety. Also translates to hideously horrible stage fright. She can play really well when no one else is listening. As soon as there are other people perceiving her when she is trying to play, it goes badly. She kind of is a little bit of an unfortunate little baby girl, and every time she tries to perform, she fucks it up and then bad things happen. Like fights break out, fights break out, and just people will just, it's a nightmare. It's a disaster. And so the person who took her in, after she wound up on the streets is a dwarven, like this old dwarven woman named Agatha. We love Agatha in this house. She's the best. But she runs a tavern and has been encouraging Lapis to, you know, try and overcome her stage fright by doing just like little shows at the tavern every night. Despite the fact that fights keep breaking out. And so Lapis is like very hopeless. She tries and just, she's like, I don't want to hurt your business. This is so bad. Oh no, this is awful. And she's just very nervous about it. And so Agatha says, is like, okay, we've tried getting you to perform at the tavern, and for whatever reason, you're still having trouble snapping out of this. Maybe you just need a change of pace for a bit. And so she was like, listen, there's an adventurers guild in town. For those who are familiar with D&D lore, the start of the campaign takes place in Elturel. That name will also be familiar to you if you have played Baldur's Gate. But yes, so, but this is pre the fucking Elturel, so it's not in hell or anything. I just realized that that rhymes. Elturel in hell. But yeah, so she joined an adventuring group saying, hey, I'm a bard, but I can't actually play in front of people, so I don't know how much use I'm gonna be. I'm sorry. And like everybody else in the party has been, you know, very forgiving, but she feels horrible that like she's a bard, but she can't cast any magic. She can't do any spells. She can't heal people. She can't do divine bardic inspiration or anything. And so she just feels kind of useless. And she feels really bad about it, and she's just a little baby. Is this an Avernus campaign? No, this is entirely homebrew. It just takes place in the D&D universe. But, so... her whole thing is that, it's kind of an open secret in the campaign at this point, is that Lapis is actually not a bard. She is a rogue. She is a rogue who thinks she is a bard, but she does sneak attack damage, and she cannot do bardic inspiration. She cannot play in front of other people. She is actually a rogue, and she just hasn't figured that out yet. And it was very funny in the early days of the campaign, where it's just like, we'd be in combat, and I'd be like, hey DM, do I get my bonus damage? And he'd be like, yeah, sure. And so I just do sneak attack damage without telling people that it was sneak attack damage. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have advantage on stealth. And they were like, why? And I said, don't worry about it. And so I would tell more, but again, I don't know when that secret is going to come out in the campaign. And I don't want any of my fellow players to find out her secrets ahead of time. What I will say, the few other things that have happened in the campaign so far that have hinted as to what kind of her backstory is that at one point there was a very wholesome moment that very quickly became unwholesome, when the party was like kind of camping together and they were just kind of hanging out, and the topic came up of Lapis, like, you know, wanting to play for everyone but feeling like she couldn't. And the rest of the group was like, well, what if we played along with you? Because some of the other characters were also proficient in had music, or had instruments they could play. And so they tried it, and it worked really well, and Lapis like was actually able to perform decently, and she was feeling really, really good about herself, and it was so cute. And then midway through strumming her harp, she had a flashback to stabbing a man in the throat and killing him. And she can't remember any other details about it. She just remembers what it felt like. And it shakes her so badly that she goes to have a panic attack behind a tree away from the rest of the party. And she's like, I don't know what that was. And she's just like, oh no. Oh no, that's bad. That's real bad. That's unfortunate. Oh no. So that is as far as we have gotten with Lapis. Is she has had a couple of her like just little snippets of memory start coming back to her, and she doesn't like what she has seen. However, she is still desperate to know who she was, because she's the type of person, she's very inquisitive. In fact, the specific subclass of rogue she is the inquisitive rogue. She's like a little detective. And her whole thing is just she's very good at reading people, and she's good at solving puzzles and figuring shit out. She's very observant, and she's just like, it bothers me so much that I don't know who I am or where I came from. I am going to find this out. And so that's like her whole thing. But now she's seen little glimpses of it, and she is almost hesitant because she's like, I still want to know what my story is, but I worry about what I'm going to find if I continue digging. And so it's kind of like this should I, shouldn't I type of thing. Also, she has a pet vampire skull named Dave, and that's him. We love Dave. and I get to play her again on Sunday, and I'm very excited because we didn't get to play last Sunday because enough people were sick and or had scheduling conflicts that we ended up canceling the session on the morning of. And so I haven't played her in like a month, and I'm really excited because we are in the middle of some very hot water, and I would like us to survive. But we will never know until we actually play, but I'm excited about it. Yippee! But yeah, I guess the story with Dave is that while they were investigating this monster that they were supposed to be hunting for a quest, they stumbled into this weird crypt. And inside the crypt was the skeleton of a vampire. He was still very much, like, alive, but he was just bones. And so, you know, the party was gonna kill him because he's like, oh, he's a fucking vampire, let's just get rid of him. But Lapis took pity on him, and she's like, no, he's just a little guy, I will keep him, and I will keep him out of the sun, and he will be my special little guy. So that's Dave. And Dave, I can't even do the voice that Jay does for Dave. He just sounds like a fucking nerd. And his whole thing, he's a very, very powerful vampire, and you will all be my minions. He talks a little like that. I can't do the voice. But he's just a fucking nerd, and his whole thing was he was turned into a vampire as a joke. And Lapis has basically been trying to chain him. No, Dave, you can't call people your minions because that's rude. Was like, we're not your minions, we're your friends. And if you keep talking like a supervillain, like a wannabe supervillain, then the party's not gonna let me keep you. I don't know. It was just very funny. Can you throw David an enemy and turn them into vampires? I mean, he has turned other monsters into vampiric versions that we then had to fight. But that was before we met him, and then we basically had to clean up after him. And so we haven't tried it yet. But right now, all he's done is be comedy relief, and he has made it harder for Lapis to enter buildings. Because he is a vampire, so of course they have to ask if he can come in every time they go through a door. And it has caused problems a couple times. Did Jay expect you to adopt Dave? I have no idea. Probably not, but we did anyway. JD Arts, thank you for the super chat. Wow, I can speak English. Thank you for the super chat. Hope someday I become a full-time freelance artist. Well, good luck. Good luck. I'm rooting for you. Also, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. But yes, we love Dave. Dave is fun. He's just a fun and silly little guy. Also, I drew this skull without reference, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but you probably can. I'm a professional artist, I swear. Is the Lapis campaign available to the public? No! This is just a home game that me and my friends play. You guys will occasionally hear about it, but aside from that, it is just vibes. If it was streamed, I would have screamed about it already plenty of times. Also, yes, please read the chat first to make sure that the question you are asking has not already been answered, because mods are in there answering questions for you guys that I can't get to. So, yeah. Thank you, peace signs. But yeah, you know, maybe someday Dave will be a real boy, but Right now, he is just a skull in a bird cage. Because that's how Lapis carries him around. She just, like, bought a little bird cage and put it on her belt, and that is how he carries around. He's her pet skull. And he's very fun. Why is Dave in a bird cage if he's a vampire? She covers it up with, like, a piece of fabric when they are traveling around during the day. So he's not, like, being exposed to sunlight. She wraps him up. It's like how you put a towel over a bird's cage when you want them to go to sleep. Did you just leave his body behind? No, his body was just a bunch of random bones that, like, clattered after us and attacked us, and we did destroy most of them before realizing that there was a skull who was, like, largely sentient. And we were like, hey, can you just, like, not? And he was like, okay. How can he talk without his lower jaw? Good question. Glad you asked. Does Dave regenerate or is he stuck his bones? He stuck his bones for right now because according to him, quote, blood is icky. But because he's a vampire, he has to drink blood in order to regenerate, and no one has volunteered so far. Lapis has been saying, Dave, we can't let you, it's like, we want you to be a full guy, and we would love for you to regenerate, and like the rest of the party is just like standing in the corner, like giving a thumbs down. It's like, but you can't keep talking about how you want to be a supervillain and how you want to enslave the world, because then people aren't going to... It's not a nice thing to do, Dave. And then he was just like, okay. It's all very silly. And I'm having a heck of a good time with him. The real guy with the green hat, thank you for the super chat. What book can you recommend for me to get back into reading, not from the 2020s or the 2010s? I have no idea because I have not really read much. But chat is welcome to chime in on this. I unfortunately do not read very much. And all of the stuff that I have read recently has come out in the last 5 years. So don't know how to help you there. But hopefully chat can give you some suggestions. Folks can, like, specifically reply to super chats for the record. There should be, like, a little reply button. Yeah, I'm looking at the time and I'm looking at how much time I am spending on this drawing, and I'm thinking, yeah, probably gonna split the Star Talks About All Her OCs video into 2 parts, because I am not gonna be able to get 20 character illustrations done in a month. I could get 10 done in a month, though. That's reasonable. I could do that. And I think I've narrowed the list down to about 20 anyway, so I could do about 10 per each video. Percy Jackson is 2010s. No, it isn't. I read Percy Jackson for the first time in high school, and that was in, like, 2008. It's still going, as far as I know, but it did not start in the 2010s. It's been out for longer than that. I remember reading the original book. No, like, the original quintology was finished before 2010, because I remember reading it in class in my senior year of high school, and I graduated in 2010. It is older. Yes, it is. Failed at my librarian duties. Wow, Dawn, can't believe you don't know every fact about every book. I'm calling your library to tell on you. And be like, Dawn doesn't know shit about books. Fire her. Yeah, fun fact about that series, I actually have the original, like, series of books. The last... What is it? I can't remember the title of the book, but, like, there's that original series that's, like, 5 books, the very first one that came out. I have the last book actually in hardcover signed by the author because he did a signing at a bookstore that I'm local to when that book came out. Oh, Molly cat. Molly's over there making mad cat sounds. Molly cat. Being a cat, being so cute. Brightness. Okay. There we go. Merge. Burp brightness. Yippee-ki-yay, there's a little necklace. Where'd the music go? Good question. It's still there. I think it's just quiet. Yeah. He's at it again! Jared Sadewater, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Everybody say thank you to Jared. Thank you. Hi, Jared, what's up? Alright. But yeah, just a regular reminder, since it's been about 45 minutes since stream began, don't forget to get yourself a Vector plushie. If you pledge to the campaign with just a $2 down payment now, you can get a Vector plushie and help us reach the goal of 200 backers on the campaign so that we can be guaranteed that Vector plushies will actually get made. We need a minimum of 200 and we're less than 20 away. You could be the person who pushes us over. Dun 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 dun! You'll make it, I promise. Oh, I'm sure we will, but you know, I would like us to get there sooner rather than later, because like the campaign's already about half over, and we're so close, and I want to not be stressed about it anymore. Oh, actually, that's some other big news that I can talk about it. I am sure that folks who backed the Kickstarter saw this update when I posted it earlier today. But books for Cast Off Volume 1 have officially been paid for and are now in production. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yippee! So that is the thing that happened today. It took a little bit of time to get like the very last few little kinks worked out, but the books have officially been paid for, which means that they will be starting production like today. Yippee! Well, probably not till next week because it's about to be the weekend and I don't think the factory workers do things on weekends, but the company says it takes about like 2 to 3-ish weeks for book production to be completed. And then once the books are all printed, they will grab a couple of sample copies. They will ship them to me for me to double check for any like big fuckity ups. just to make sure that everything looks good. And once I get approval on those, then they will ship them to me, and that's gonna take like 6 weeks to fulfill, because they're being shipped over from China, and it's very far away, and they're sending them on the slow boat because it's like it's several thousand pounds worth of books. But then the books will be real! Yippee! Very excited. Very excited indeed. Real quick. Find like the perfect, okay, there we go. Trying to get the perfect freaking shape for this is very difficult. But yeah, so that is very exciting. If you back the Kickstarter, I will be sending out surveys and ebook copies within the next couple of weeks, probably, just, you know, when I have time. And then I have to work on, like, all the other stuff. Like, I have to order shipping supplies, and I gotta order, like, all the bookmarks and the stickers and the standees and all that stuff. And so that's just gonna be my life between now and November. But it'll be good, and I'm excited for it. Who is digging around in my trash? Milo. Don't be a trash cat. There's nothing in there for you. I know I threw away the wrapper for my Hot Pocket in there, and so you smell Hot Pocket, but there's no Hot Pocket. So you don't need to eat it. My cat is being a menace, everybody. What else is new? Ordinary Tuesday. Milo the trash panda. Yup. She's a little goblin. Un petite nightmare creature. Oh, yeah, actually, this is a very good place to mention this, because a lot of folks who are interested in my OCs are on here. So a couple months ago, I got sponsored by a website called Unvale, to talk about their service, and I did make a profile for it just as part of the sponsorship, and then I didn't really use it too much after that, but I did think it was neat. And I then left it alone for, like, you know, a couple months. But because so many people have been asking about, like, my D&D characters recently and just been curious about the characters, I've been thinking I want a place where I can put all the stuff in one place and it can be really easy to access. And so I actually did start fleshing out my Unvale account some more. So if you want to learn, I have Verity and her old party in there as characters already. Verity's is pretty fleshed out, but the others are mostly just gallery pages. But if you go on Verity's page, I have a write-up. I did like a write-up on her whole backstory, essentially. It's, you know, it's a couple pages long. It's not like too long, but I sat and I wrote it all in one night, and I'm pretty happy with it. And it kind of tells you guys, like, what her deal is and kind of where she came from and all that. and how her, like, how she met all of the other members of her party. And it's just, I'm really happy with it. And so if you guys want to know more about her as a character and some of her stuff, I'm going to be adding more stuff to that periodically. Here is a link to the specific little, like, writing thing that I did in case you guys have a hard time finding it. But yeah, I'm planning on adding some more stuff in there. I'll probably add, like, Lapis and Verity and some of my other, basically all my characters that are unaffiliated with Castoff, I will probably make entries for at some point. Do you need an account to view your pages there? I don't think so. I believe you should just be able to click on it and read it. But you know, like, I think if you have an account and you, like, follow me on there, you can see whenever I update stuff, which is convenient because I am planning on, like, gradually adding, you know, like, new art, new stuff for the character bio, etc. I'm not being sponsored to say this. I just, like I said, I was sponsored by them a while ago, so I made an account, and now I'm actually starting to use it, and it's very convenient for keeping everything in one place. At the very least, it is more convenient than a Tumblr tag, which is what I had been using. It is a little easier to navigate. But yeah. Okay, so I need to scoot this into the actual position. Actual birdcage position. I'll just redraw this line on her dress, it's fine. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, here's what I can do. Here's what I'll do. Take that, and I put that back on this layer, and now we just have Skull Dave in isolation. I don't know where all these extra layers are coming from, but I am merging them. Now we just have Skull Dave and the cage, and we scoot it up to where about here. There we go. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Dave. Does Dave have any favorite foods? He does not eat, so we don't know. I'm sure he did at some point. We have not. It has not come up yet, though. Because he's a vampire and also a skull, so he does not eat. We just know that he does not like blood. And he wants to be... He's like kind of... Okay, he's if Pinky and the Brain were the same person, and that person was a vampire skull. He wants to do world domination so bad. But he's kind of stupid. He's kind of stupid. And we love that about him, but he is dumb. He's like, yes, I will make all of you my minions. And I'm just like, Dave, you can't keep talking like that, or else the party's not gonna let me keep you, Dave. If they think that you're evil, they're gonna make me get rid of you, Dave. Like King from the Owl House? Kind of. I think that's not inaccurate. But this is like a grown-ass man, though. And King is a baby. So, it's different. I'm going to change some of the line art on this a little bit. now it looks three-dimensional. Yippee! Shut up, Dave. Get in your cage. Lapis also uses Dave as a lookout. So it's like, okay, Dave, I know you're a vampire, so you don't sleep. So I'm just gonna leave your cage out, and then also, if anyone comes up to camp, just make the normal amount of noise that you usually make. Because the joke being that Dave is obnoxious. But yes, overall, it's been a very fun campaign. There's a lot of stuff that I would scream about, but I would sound like the frickin' Pepe Sylvia bit from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because it has to do with, like, universe lore that you guys would not understand. It's stuff that you will understand more when the D&D video comes out. Hopefully by the end of the year. We'll see. But yes. Alright. I think these inks are good. So now it's just time to color. It's color time. Also, every time I draw Lapis, her design has been changing like a little itty bitty bit. Like her bangs were originally longer to make her look sadder. So I kind of pulled those back. I gave her the bow in her hair. She didn't have that originally, but I thought it was cute, so I gave her one. And now the bow in her hair kind of turned into, she has like a little ponytail, and that's very cute. She's just baby. She's just baby, and I love her. She's my darling. My angel, who has never done anything wrong ever. Don't ask her what memories she's been randomly getting back. It's fine. He's my little elf baby. Lapis looks like a clone of me. She absolutely does not. We just have the same, like, we both have, like, the bow. And, like, the ponytail. But that is literally the only, I guess we're also elves, fuck. Okay, fine. I will give you that much. I just like big bows, okay? And that comes from my childhood. My mom used to, like, put my hair in a ponytail every day, and I would have a big old bow on top of my head. That was, like, my go-to hairstyle, like, my first several years of schooling. And it was cute. And my mom, I had, like, a wall. Well, not a wall, but, like, a definitely, you know, just, like, just big old ponytail bow. And so I have a bit of an affection for big old bows now. Thoughts on Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls? She was my favorite when I watched that show as a kid, alright? She was actually, like, legitimately, she was my favorite. I can't deny these allegations. I sure would like to, but it would be disingenuous of me. I just like big bows! They're fun. Nobody be mean to me about it. Dave needs a boat. Listen, we were talking about, like, we have to put a... We were talking about, okay, what would the party wear if they had to go to, like, a formal event? And I was like, we have to put a bow tie on Dave somehow! And so we were talking, like, we just have to, like... We just have to tape it to him. I don't know how we'd get it on him any other way. He has no neck. He's just the top half of a skull. You know, we could, like, just tape a bow tie to him, and then he could be dapper. He could be Dapper Dave. I'm gonna put a bow on him to make him presentable. Oh, beige. Okay. Oh, gray. Oh, gray. Trying to color in the cage first so then I can go in and do this. Just fill bucket much faster if all the other colors are already filled in. This is a gross gray though. I need to make this gray different. More of a cool gray. There we go. Yeah. Actually, maybe I make the lace a little lighter. Yeah, I think I like that. But yeah, Lapis's whole thing is like she's supposed to be a little bit sickly, or she's at least supposed to look it. And so that's why she's like so pale. I like pointy ear characters, which is why she is an elf. That is literally the main reason. She's just baby. She's just baby. And she has a lot of anxiety and also memories of murder. I'm sure it's fine and nothing bad will happen. It's fine. What type is elf is she? She's not sure. Part of losing her memory is that she has no idea. She just knows, I'm an elf, I guess? I don't know anything. Oh, that's the other thing, is her amnesia. She is keeping a secret from all of her friends, because she's very embarrassed about it. She thinks it's like, she thinks it's pathetic, and she's just like, I can't freaking believe that, like, I don't know anything about myself. That's so embarrassing. She's like, amnesia is cringe, is kind of how she views it, and so she hasn't told anybody that she's an amnesiac, but she's been, you know, trying to, figure stuff out, and she's just baby. The amnesia's cringe. It is, yeah. At least that's how she thinks. She's just like, I can't have amnesia. Amnesia's cringe. I'll just try and figure it out on my own. And if anyone ever asks me, hey, do you have amnesia? I don't know why they would ask me that. But, you know. They don't have to know. Her whole thing is just like, I already suck at my job as it is. I'm a bard who can't perform in front of people, and so I'm basically just kind of a liability to this adventuring party that I've joined. They don't need any more reason to think that I am useless. And so she's been, you know, she's been real self-conscious about it. She's been hiding it. But Dave knows. Dave right now is the only one in the party who knows. And that's because Lapis loves Dave. He's her best buddy. And she was just like, Dave, basically what happened is right after she had that memory come back to her and she was really freaked out, she took Dave with her to go have a panic attack behind a tree. And she basically was like, hey, can I trust you? Can you keep a secret? And he cannot, but she told him anyway. And then he was like, oh, I know, I can, he's like, you should ask the rest of the party about it. They might know who you are. And she's just like, I'm pretty sure that if they knew me, they would have said something by now. We've been traveling together for almost a week, and none of them have said anything. And that would be just like a weird thing to bring up out of nowhere. So. Dave is Lapis's emotional support vampire. Basically. Basically. Emotional support skull. But yeah, Lapis just like, she feels really worthless, and she's got a lot of self-confidence issues. When they got the payment for their very first quest that they did, which was to like go kill a monster, she actually ended up secretly redistributing her share of the reward amongst the rest of the party while they were all asleep, because she felt like she didn't earn it. And even Dave was like, you could have kept some of that. You know, you helped. And she was like, I barely did anything. So no, I would rather like earn my keep, you know? She's just, you know, she's baby, and she's like learning how to overcome her anxieties, learning how to trust the people around her. And it's a whole, and like, you know, try to get her life back together, even though she has no idea how she's going to do that. And she's just a little baby, you guys. She's just a little bitty baby, and I love her so much. And I hope that you guys like her too. I will, like I said, I'll probably make her a page on Unvale and like gradually add session notes to it. Or just like, you know, I'll do little write-ups on what she's been up to, so folks can learn along with her a little bit. I think that might be nice. I did actually just buy some new notebooks so I can actually take proper session notes now. And I bought one for bought one for Verity and one for Lapis. And so I will probably be using those a lot. And then I can kind of transcribe my notes into a more readable state, and then you guys can read them on Unvale probably. Yippee! I started using it because the sponsor on your video, LOL. Yeah, I started using it because they sponsored me, and like they've been extremely chill, and they were very easy to work for. You're playing two characters for the same campaign. No, Verity and Lapis, I almost combined their names into Varus, which might be a future NPC name now that I think about it. That's kind of a cool name. But no, Verity and Lapis are for two different games. Lapis is for my Sunday game, and Verity is for my Thursday game. And they're both bi-weekly, so we play every other week. So like I'll have the Sunday game, and then the next week we'll have the Thursday game, and the week after that we'll have the Sunday game, and vice versa, go back and forth. Ship name? No, I don't. I think that if we combined those two, we would make a character who is just too nervous. And then everything would explode. See, like, they're two different subgenres of nervous babies, though, right? Because, like, Verity is very much, she's just, like, kind of got, she's just, like, she doesn't like to be the center of attention. And she doesn't like, she loves meeting people, but she gets really nervous about it. And she also has, like, some self-confidence issues, but that's very warranted because she died protecting her friends, and she views that as, like, a major failure, and it's a whole thing. Lapis, her anxiety is more very much focused on, I am useless. But she's not, like, scared to talk to people or anything. She's more, like, once she's in her element, she's much more serious. It's kind of hard to describe, because on the surface they are kind of similar, but the deeper you get into them, the more you realize there's a lot different about them. Performance anxiety for Lapis. Yeah, basically. Lapis's whole thing is that, like, she's good at what she does, and she knows she's good. She just has performance anxiety, and she does not like being perceived. And then she, you know, she has this performance anxiety, and it does cause her to fail, and then she gets self-conscious about that, and it's just kind of a vicious cycle. Whereas Verity is just kind of, like, generally anxious, but she also, you know, she just... Another big difference with them is that Verity's whole thing, Verity is a devotion paladin, right? Her whole thing is that she just loves her friends so much it gives her magic powers, essentially. Lapis does not have that same level of love. Like, Verity would die for people that she just met. Lapis would not. Lapis absolutely would not. Like, this is a conversation that she's probably going to have with an NPC in our next session. But it's like, there's an NPC who like really stuck her neck out for the party, and is helping to save them from an ancient dragon, essentially. And Lapis is gonna be like, yeah, I don't know. I like to think that I would have, you know, stayed behind to help, but in reality, I think that if I had the option, I would have run the second I had the chance. I don't know if I care about people the way that you do. And it's very much just like... They're very different people, I suppose. The difference between a paladin and a rogue, right? Even if Lapis thinks she is a bard, she is a rogue. Yeah, so the fun thing about Lapis's amnesia is I told our DM that I want to know as little as possible. I was like, okay, so I know like the broad strokes of her backstory, but I told Jay, I was like, I don't want to know. I want to be part of the amnesia plot. I want to figure things out as she figures things out. I know a bit. I know enough that if and when she suddenly gets her memories back, I will be able to roll with it. And like, I know the key information, but there is a lot of information that I'm missing, and that is by design, because that is fun for me. I basically said, hi, my character has amnesia, fuck me up, and I just dropped my character sheet on the table and I walked away. It's such a cool way to play that. I just really, I'm gonna talk about this in my next video actually, but I really enjoy amnesiac characters. Specifically, like, if they actually play into the amnesia trope and it's part of their storyline. And I've kind of always wanted to do an amnesiac D&D character. It's like, I want to know as little as possible, and I want to be, like, discovering this character shit along with them, because that is very fun for me. I just like characters with secrets, and I like uncovering those secrets as the campaign goes on. That's very tasty and fun for me. I will talk about this more when my next video comes up. I have an entire section just talking about my love of certain character types, including amnesiacs. But oh boy, it's fun. So you didn't know she wasn't a bard at first? No, I knew, because I wanted to play a rogue. And like, her character sheet is built as a rogue. Like, I built her character sheet. She is a rogue. Some stuff has been added to her character sheet that I did not put there. Like, for example, she found out, like, midway through a session at one point that she speaks Draconic, and that was a surprise to me, because I was looking at my character sheet, and I was like, I don't think I speak Draconic, and then I looked, and it was there, and I was like, oh, I guess I do speak Draconic. I don't think I picked that as one of my languages when I was building this character. Like, you know, there's some sneakies that I am not privy to that I learned about just because they show up in my, in her character sheet, but I did build her to be a rogue, so I knew that in advance. And I mean, like, her being a rogue, or being a bard with performance anxiety, bard in air quotes, was like part of the character that I pitched. And like, I know why she has that performance anxiety. It is tied in with some stuff in her backstory that I'm not going to talk about because it's still a secret in the actual campaign. But yeah. I just think it's fun to play a character who thinks she's a different class, and then by extension, fooling everybody else in the campaign into thinking that she's a different class. And now it's just kind of an open joke where like I'll do something roguish and then the party will snark is like, oh yeah, there goes the rogue. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not a rogue, I'm a bard. I'm a bard who does sneak attack damage. Shut up. I'm a bard who does sneak attack damage and can't bardically inspire anybody. So she's not a very good bard. But she's a very good baby, and she's doing her best, and you're being very mean to her, and you'll just all laugh. It's funny. It's funny jokes. We have a good time. But yeah, I've got some stuff I want to do in the next session that I'm very excited about, so we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, Lapis's thing is like she can play her musical instrument and she can play it very well. She has like a little mini harp, which I think they're called like a lyre, I think is what we put on her character sheet. And she can actually play it very well. Like, she is competent, she is proficient in playing it. She is just not proficient in performance. And she freaks out every time she has to try. I give myself disadvantage on performance rolls because it's funny. I love playing with like characters and like purposely melding their character sheets along with what would suit the game. I fudge rolls to be worse more often than I fudge them to be higher. I think the only time, I'm not sure if I've ever done it on purpose in a game that I play in. I think I misread my dice like once or twice in a game before, and I didn't, or like I was looking at the wrong stat, and so I made my number on accident a little bit higher than it should have been. I will fudge dice rolls when I am DMing occasionally if I think it would make for a better story moment. But when I am playing as a character and I am making rolls, I am much more likely to on purpose make my rolls worse because it's funnier. I generally won't do it for high stakes things, like every single wisdom save that Emery has ever failed, she has just failed. My poor baby girl cannot pass a wisdom save to save her life, and it's going to get her killed one of these days with how often she has to roll them. And I will fudge Lapis's performance rolls to be worse because it's better for the moment. But yes. I have never fudged a roll in a moment when it absolutely counted. Let the dice tell the story and all that. You know, when I started doing these drawings, I told myself they were gonna be little easy character draws. Like, just simple, basic, not spending too much time on them. I've spent an hour and a half on this Lapis already. Size it myself, I guess. Baby girl deserves a nice drawing of her. Because I don't have that many right now. I only have like 1 or 2. And he's worth it. She's worth it, Uwu. This is the part where everyone in the chat tells me to shut the fuck up and stop doing the Uwu voice, to which I will say, you can't tell me what to do, Woo. It's my fucking stream, and I can Uwu if I want to. I can Uwu if I want to, Woo. And you can't make me stop. I am Quinge, but I am Fwee. All of your protestations are just making me stronger. I almost hesitate to say this because I don't want you guys to bug her about it. But you know who has Lapis spoilers? Is Jinx, actually. Apparently. I was informed of this recently. That, you know, Jay has apparently told... Jinx is not in our Sunday game. Because the Sunday game is just me and a bunch of my college pals, and then Jay DMs it. But apparently, Jinx is privy to a lot of spoilers that will, and I quote, fuck me up real bad. Don't bother Jinx about it, but I'm just like, people know my dark secrets. Oh no, my dark secrets, the lore. You should tell me and Sly the spoilers after, well, I can't do it in mod chat, but maybe elsewhere. Beep boopity boop. Checking something really fast. Did you guys hear that they found out a chemical that's in Doritos can turn mice transparent? Did you guys know that? Did you guys hear about that? There is a chemical food dye in Doritos that can apparently turn mice transparent. I didn't read the whole article, but it apparently has something to do with like the properties of some kind of chemical. I don't think it would do anything to humans because our skin is too thick, but I guess it's a thing that can happen to mice. Go find the article. I ruin your Google search history by Googling transparent mice Doritos. Dorito chemical. Do this for me because I think it would be very funny. I'm looking down, but I can see how fast chat is moving. I just see how much the chat is moving right now, and I'm just laughing. Tee hee hee. I love just dropping random things on you guys and watching you all react. It brings me much joy. When I was a little kid, a neighbor kid told me that if you eat fruit gushers right before bed, you will turn into a mermaid when you wake up. And I can't even begin to tell you how upset I was that that was not true. I was so upset. It's like, you lied to me. You lied to me. Where is my mermaid tail? I ate fruit gushers right before going to sleep, but I do not have a mermaid tail. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I was like, I'm suing. I've been robbed. A prank has been pulled on me and I will not stand for this. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. My lawyers that I have as a 5-year-old. They were definitely real. For the record. Let's check on the Vector plushie. We are 16 plushies away! 16 plushies away from Vector plushies being made for real! We just need 16 more and we will hit the required 200 pledges for Vector plush to be a reality! You know, it would be extremely cool to hit that before the stream was over. We're very, very close, gang. We are so close. We are so close. Reminder that in order to back the plushie, again, be responsible with this, but you only have to pay $2 right now. You don't have to pay the full price of the plushie right now. The full price of the plushie will be charged to your card automatically when the campaign launches for real sometime probably in late November, early December. So once like the actual plushies get made and then we run the for real like 3-week long campaign. So right now it's just like a $2 deposit saying, yes, I am interested in this and I will put money behind it, essentially. How much is the full price? It's like 30 bucks, which is a good price for a plush. And then if it also helps, I don't, you know, I always feel bad about activating other people's FOMO, but this is just a fact, is that I don't know how easy it will be to obtain one of these plushies after the campaign is over. Makeship plushies are usually only available for like 3 weeks, and then they make exactly as many as they need, and then they are not available anymore. So if you really want a Vector plush, getting one now and reserving one is gonna be the best way to guarantee that you actually get one. Because I cannot guarantee that there will be a rerun of these. I cannot guarantee that I will be selling any of these on my store. If you want a Vector plush, you will want to actually get one, because I have no guarantee that I will have them available after the makeship campaign. Are you gonna buy extras for your store/cons? I will if they will let me, but I don't know how many I will be able to afford. This is not a question I have had with the folks at Makeship yet, but I know that some of my friends who have worked with them have bought extras to like bring to conventions, but it's not going to be a thing that I have available in perpetuity. It is going to be a thing where once I sell out of them, they are probably gone. So if you really want to make sure that you get one, you want a Vector friend for any of the other plushies that I end up coming out with, you will want to actually get one, like, during this campaign, because I cannot guarantee that they will be available afterwards. Also, the plushies are available internationally. I think they have, like, shipping is like $8 no matter what country you're in. It's like a flat rate shipping fee. I don't know, like, country by country basis. You will have to check, like, Makeship's website for that, but that is a thing that I saw, is that international shipping is available. It's not actually that expensive, which is good. The total purchase, I think, would be about, like, $40, because it's, like, 30 plus tax for the actual plushie and then plus shipping. And yes, if, like Sly said, if you have friends or family who like the comic and would maybe want a Vector plush, you can send them to the petition, because we are trying to get as many of these little boys made as possible. But yeah, so that is my spiel about why you should get a Vector plushie. I will drop the link in the chat one more time, but again, it is still pinned at the top of the chat. Do 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 do. I want a Lapis plushie with a Dave on the side. Oh gosh, Lapis does not have enough fans to sell 200 plushies. I am planning on eventually doing an acrylic standee of her, though. Just like how I have standees of Verity and Emery and my girls. I think that someday I will make a point to make standees of some of my other, like, D&D characters and stuff. Those will probably be, like, quote-unquote limited edition, in that I will buy just enough. I might do, like, pre-orders, and then I will sell the amount that I get with maybe a couple of extras, but once they sell out, I'm not planning on restocking them anymore. Mostly because I want one, but my my acrylic standee manufacturer has a minimum order quantity of, like, 10, so I have to buy a minimum of 10. Standees of Sonia, Taryn, and Liam when? Eventually. Eventually. Someday. Listen, I've been kind of on a merch hiatus because I haven't been doing conventions recently, and so merch stuff has been kind of on the back burner. So the thing about making new merch is, like, you know, I make merch for conventions primarily, but also for my online store. But I haven't been doing conventions this year. I took most of this year off to focus on getting the cast-off books finished. Now the cast-off books are finished, but I've been getting so many sponsors on my YouTube channel, and that's been doing so well that I don't need conventions to be part of my income anymore. And conventions are real stressful, gang. So I haven't really been prioritizing them. And so it's just like, okay, well, if I'm not going to conventions, then I don't really need to spend too much time on new merch and stuff. And so I haven't made any new merch designs in a while, just because I haven't really been focusing on conventions or my online store as much, because my YouTube income has been providing me with some extras. Like, a combination of ad revenue and sponsorships and Patreon and all that has been kind of filling in the gaps for my convention work, and none of those things require me to leave my house and get a cat sitter and be away from home for a really long time. And so it's just overall been a lot more convenient. But, you know, it's like, I'm not gonna completely stop doing conventions, but I think I'm just not gonna focus on them for a while. I hope you'll come back as a guest for MomoCon next year. I still need to ping them and be like, hey, can I come back? But I mean, they wanted me last year, and so I hope that they would want me back again this year, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. I have also applied as a guest for a couple of conventions in Texas that are coming up, so we'll see. Just want to say I'm besties with Medley of Tales of Alderwood, and I really love the shout out you did a while ago. Medley's been helping with my own webcomic, and we love your stuff. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. I had fun with that one. Alderwood's a good comic, and I wish I had read it sooner. there anywhere that I forgot to shade? What's drawn? I'm drawing one of my D&D characters. Wow, okay, that is not what I meant to do. No, I need the reference layer. Oop, okay. I'm almost done. The hard parts are finished. This will probably take me another 10 minutes, and then we can start on next character. Yeah, plushies of the other characters will depend on how well Vector sells. So if you want to be sure to get... I know at least Dawn for sure has said that she wants to get both an Ariana and a Marina plushie to make them kiss. So if you guys want that reality to be a thing, make sure... make sure to support my soft little guy, little Vector. He's pinned at the top. But yes. But yeah, I would love at the bare minimum, I would love to do plushies of the main trio. Ideal would be at least the main quintet. So, you know, like Vector, Ariana, Frankie, and then Marina and Rory as well. And, you know, I think anyone past that is going to be kind of variable because, like, I'm not sure that, I don't know if Sage could sell 200 plushies. But I don't know if Zara could sell 200 plushies. But since we're going to be learning more about those characters in coming chapters, maybe we'll get some possible. But yeah, you know, we'll see. I cannot make any guarantees. Look at my shy little baby girl. She's so anxious. Unless I buy all 200 Sarahs. Y'all made the same freaking joke at the same time. Amazing. Holly just wants Zara in a zebra suit. I mean, listen, if you make a plushie, you can just, like, sew a little kigurumi for them. That is an option that you have. If we get a Frankie plushies, I want pics of him going to get pancakes. Yeah, if we get Frankie plushies made, y'all, I'll have to take him to get pancakes. Just like when I released the Frankie acrylic standees. Y'all have to take them to go get pancakes. And then post pictures so that I can see. But yeah, again, guys, remember that plushies being made is constituent on them being able to sell like 200 copies. So some of the lesser known characters are probably not as likely to get plushies. However, what I will say is that I would kill a man for a Verity plushie. I don't need 200 of them. I just want one for me. I technically do have the capabilities and powers to make this happen. I know how to sew. I've made plushies before, but it's been a really long time. And sourcing the materials sounds like a pain in the butt. And I don't want to do that right now because I have too many other things that I need to do. But that's the dream, isn't it? That is the dream. You made life-size Garrus, you can make Verity. I mean, I can. But it's a time thing at this point, you know? It's a time thing. I don't have a lot of time. I'm a very busy bee. Very busy bean. I just have so many D&D characters to draw, you guys. I'm just so overworked. My job is so hard. I have to sit and draw my D&D characters all day. It's so difficult. I'm just being a butt. My job is hard. I do have a lot of stuff that I have to do behind the scenes. But I do like it, and that's why I do it. At the end of the day, I get to chill in my house and I get to draw a bunch. I don't get to draw every single day, and sometimes drawing as an obligation can be kind of soul-crushing, especially when you would much rather be doing just about anything else. But overall, I like that I get to do this, and I like that I get to draw my D&D characters, and I like that I get to post them on YouTube, and then that's my job, and that's cool. Like, I keep thinking I really, really, really need to set down time and work on the D&D video so I can just hurry up and get it done. Because I want it to be a thing that exists. I want it to be out there. I want to be able to talk about it. I want to be able to, like, show it to people, and I want it to be done. But it's just like, I've been working on it for months. I'm only like a third of the way through with it. And I've been trying to work on it a little bit on the side, but I've been, you know, the majority of my week is taken up with other stuff. You know? Like, the first half of my week is always dedicated to comic stuff. And then I also have to work on YouTube stuff because I have to, you know, go back and forth with sponsors and figure all that out. I have to do the mail club art every month. I have to keep up with the Patreon. I have to moderate my Discord. I have to pack orders and I have to run my online store. It's a lot. And then, like, when I have any free time at all, I usually want to just, like, unwind with, like, video games. Like, guys, I don't say this to incite pity. I'm not saying it's like, oh my gosh, feel so sorry for me. That's not why I'm saying this, but it is just a fact of reality. I work at least 60 hours a week. Every week. I don't take weekends. I will occasionally, like, take a day off. And I did technically take a weekend last week just because, like, I worked like 80 hours in 4 days. And I burned myself the fuck out. And I was so tired that I physically couldn't do anything for the rest of that weekend. And so I just sat and I played Fields of Mystria. And then I also still did work, though, because, like, I was editing shorts and shit. And I do a lot of shit. And again, I'm not saying this for pity. I'm just trying to give you guys some perspective. The D&D video is taking a while because I have to squeeze it in between everything else. Can confirm she does not stop working even when we tell her. Yeah, my parents also know this about me. They know that I am a chronic overworker. I'm a bit of a workaholic, I will admit that. That is not a secret to anyone in my life who knows me. And I remember my parents were over at my house on Christmas. And the way my living room is set up, that I have my work desk in the corner of my computer with my back facing the rest of the room. And the kitchen is back there too. And my dad was in the kitchen doing something, and he saw me playing Baldur's Gate. I sat down and I played Baldur's Gate for like an hour on Christmas just because we were kind of between activities. And my dad yelled at me. He's like, "You better not be working right now." I'm like, "I'm not working. I'm not working. Does this look like work to you?" And he's like, "I can't tell because your work is weird." And I'm like, "I'm not working. I'm playing a video game." And he's like, "You're not recording it, are you?" And I was like, no. Because he knows that is the thing I do. It's like, "You're not recording that video game, are you? That's not for work, is it? This is purely for joy." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're not allowed to work on Christmas." And I said, "No, I know." And I'm not. But then day after Christmas, yeah, I was working on shit again. That's the life, baby. That's how we do. Yippee. But yeah, so I say this again mostly so that you guys can understand why the D&D video is taking so long, is that I have to fit working on the D&D video in there somewhere between the 60 to 80 hours of work I already do in a given week. D&D video is not a super high priority because it is a project that is taking so long. It's mostly like a self-indulgent thing that I'm doing for my channel. Which means that I kind of have to, like, just work on it on the side. And I was making a lot more progress back when I was streaming it, but there's a couple of reasons why I can't stream it right now. It's just personal stuff. Don't worry about it. Part of it's spoilies. There's some stuff that I want to keep secret. But yeah, another part of it is just like, you know, I was streaming, working on the D&D video for a while, and while I was making good progress, I am fully acknowledged that I can go much faster when I am not streaming. And so I'm like, while I do think this is nice content and it's good for, like, getting stuff on the channel, it is also majorly holding back the speed, you know? Is like, I could do this a lot faster and a lot more efficiently if I was not streaming. So, that's another part of it. It's like, stuff like this that doesn't have, that's just kind of, you know, chill, kind of brainless, and I can just do is fine, because, like, this isn't really high stakes. This video doesn't necessarily have a deadline. If I don't end up doing it for my next video, I'll just do it another time. But with the D&D video, I'm trying to get it done by the end of the year, which means I really need to focus when I'm working on it, you know? And I have been working on it. I've been doing, like, really rough thumbnails, kind of in the background, which is basically just, like, stick figure shot planning. I've been working on that for a couple weeks, just when I have time. And I haven't had time for about a week, but, you know, this weekend I want to sit down some time and just bust through some of it. Okay, we are just about done with this Lapis. I just want to add my usual floopy floops to her. Usual shinies. My shinies. There's Lapis! See, baby! She is baby, and she is here. Little Lapis. We love her. And I hit save. And we done. Here, guys, tell you what. I'm gonna take a short little bathroom break, and then we will come back, and I'm gonna try and bust through a second one before the stream is over. Okay, I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Where's my BRB? There. Okay, I'm back. Who's gifting memberships while I'm pissing? I'm sorry, I had to. But yes, Jared and Habib, thank you both for 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it very much. Thank you kindly. Thank you, thank you. But yes. We are going to do the second half of the stream, and we are going to do a character who is quicker to draw. We're gonna draw little May. She's the protagonist from my first webcomic. I didn't need to hear that. Sure you did. Sure you did. Sure, why not? I can just... welcome to my stream where I just come on here and say shit. I'm sorry if that was too gross. I just... I saw an opportunity for an off-color joke and I took it. I'm sorry. But yes, we are going to draw a character who will hopefully be faster and easier to draw. This character, her name is May, and she is the main character from my very first, well, not my very first, but my first actual webcomic that I did for longer than like 6 pages. I will talk about what her deal was when the video comes out. Because yeah, she was the protagonist of my old first webcomic, and I kind of want to say don't look up the first webcomic because I know you guys are going to hear that and try to go look it up anyway. But the first webcomic is bad, and like I would prefer if people did not read it, if I am being completely honest. It's not good. It is quite bad. I'm not like ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of some parts of it, but it's like I don't regret doing it. It definitely taught me a lot. But I don't really like it anymore. It's a very weird story that I would change a lot about if I was to try and take a stab at it again today. It was very much like Baby's first comic. And you could tell. I was just like, oh, I had no idea how to write a satisfying or like fun story. Well, I mean, it was fun. I had fun with it, but it was very much like Baby's first comic. Baby doesn't know how to write a story. Baby is flying by the seat of her pants, and Baby is just kind of shoving whatever she wants in there, whether it is good or not. So that's kind of the vibe. Are you going to talk about any lore in the character video that you didn't get to in the story? A little bit, yeah. Just like some overarching plot stuff, just because I'm not intending on ever going back to this story, so I do say it's like, yeah, you know, this character at the end of the story, this happens, and like that's kind of how it affects their character. And I also go into some character backstories that we never got into in the actual comic. But nothing like too in-depth, right? It's largely just like overarching kind of stuff. Because yeah, it's like I enjoyed working on this comic while I was actively working on it, but it's not a story I think I'd ever revisit. I have better ideas now. You know? I have better, more fun, more interesting ideas that I would prefer to be spending my time on if I were to start a new story now. The art improvement is nice. Oh gosh, yeah, you can tell that I have improved a lot, because I started that webcomic in 2010. My first webcomic, Psy, ran from 2010 to 2013. Cast Off started in 2015. So imagine the art from the first few chapters of Cast Off and make it worse. And that's what Sai looked like. That was that. My backgrounds especially were atrocious. I got way better at backgrounds over time. I still don't think my backgrounds are great, but I do my very best. M-A-Y is how you spell it, for the record, Sly. Kind of on a similar subject, do you guys want to hear a beef that I've had for years? So random. But I was just thinking about it. So this character's name is May. It is spelled like the month. M-A-Y. There is a character in Avatar: The Last Airbender whose name is also May. It is not spelled the same, though. Her name is spelled M-A-I. And when I see that, I think, oh, her name is Mai, but no, her name is pronounced May. But they spell it like Mai, and I'm like, swap those two letters. Or something. Do something. I feel like this is not how this name should be pronounced, and it has bothered me since I was a child. Like, why is her name spelled like that? Why is it spelled not the way it's pronounced? And I don't know, it's like... It looks like it should be pronounced Mai. Or, yeah. But it's May. And I'm like, but that's not how it's spelled. You spelled it wrong. And I know that it's bold of me, a person with a letter in my name that does not need to be there and confuses everyone I meet. But I didn't come up with it. Why is her name spelled like that? It should be at least spelled M-A-E. That's what I'm saying. But it's like, if her name was Mai, that would make sense. You know, that would be easy. That would make sense. But it's pronounced May, and it's just, it has always bothered me. It has always bothered me. And like, there's part of me that's like, okay, is it maybe, because I know that like a lot of the names in the show are based on like Eastern languages and stuff. And so maybe potentially it's just like a different pronunciation. But she's from the Fire Nation, and the Fire Nation is like, the naming conventions are based off of Japanese names from what I understand. And they would not spell it like that in the romanization of Japanese either. It's like, I don't know. I don't know enough about like any of the other languages present in Avatar to like make a call, but you know, the Fire Nation, they've said, is inspired by Japan. Like, the names are based on Japanese names. And so I know for a fact that Japanese is a very phonetic language. You spell it the way it sounds. And I'm just like, why is it spelled like that? It bothers me. I have beef. I'm beefing with this fictional character in a mid-2000s television show for children. I'm beefing hard. Anyway, that's my whinging. Carry on. Carry on, everyone. I'm sorry. I wonder if anyone's ever asked that at like a panel or a Q&A or something. It's like, why is May's name spelled like that? But it bothers me. It bothers me. Mai is the Cantonese pronunciation of, I can't read that, meaning sleeve of a robe, which is where May conceals her weapons. I guess maybe. Maybe. Did you copy that from Wikipedia or something? The citation number's still in there. Her name is also phonetically similar to the Japanese Mei, meaning dark, but like, that's not spelled, it's M-E-I, because that's how it's pronounced. So her name should be spelled M-E-I, I feel. I feel like if they just switched the spelling around and they made it M-E-I, that would make a lot more sense. I just found the info, I didn't make her. Oh, no, I know, I'm just saying that the reasoning is still silly, though. It does not absolve the beef. Therefore, I am still beefing. I am still grumpy about it. I'm not saying you have to change your name, I'm just saying change how it's spelled. For me, personally. Some random strange woman on the internet who is beefing. Yum. Anyway, that's my random beef for this stream. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Plushies are at 94%. Ooh! Yep, we are at 188. We are 12 plushies away! 12 plushies away! From having Vector plushies guaranteed to be made for realsies. Check the link in the pinned comment at the top of the screen to get yourself a Vector plushie before they disappear. Wowie zowie! I heard on the news that the demure lady is trying to trademark the phrase. So that's not exactly what happened. I guess she is now, but I've been watching this drama unfold on TikTok. The woman who came up with very demure, very mindful and made it go like crazy on TikTok, someone else trademarked the phrase before she did. And so now she's like, she had to get lawyers involved because like very abruptly this thing that like, you know, was making her a lot of money was trademarked by some fucking rando. And so she's like, no, you don't get to trademark that. And because you did not come up with that, that is my thing. So as I haven't heard any updates on it recently, but that is as much of the story that I have heard. Is like some fucking rando was like, oh, hey, I could trademark this. And then no one else is allowed to make money off of this phrase. And like, you know, I could be annoyed at the whole demure and mindful thing. I do think it's like kind of weird as a trend, but it'll die off sooner or later. I'm less pressed about it because the woman who came up with it, I watched a few of her videos. See, she seems chill and is, you know, she was talking about how she used the money she made from the trend to like buy a new apartment and help get her friends out of living in a really shitty neighborhood. And it was just like, she passes the vibe check for me, at least on initial, like, look over. I understand people being annoyed at the trend because, like, yeah, if you're hearing it everywhere all of a sudden, it's annoying, like, I get it. But I don't have any beef with the person who started it, I suppose I should say. And also, yeah, it is shitty that someone else tried to trademark the phrase so that she couldn't use it anymore. Like, that is shitty. And so I hope that she makes her bag, you know? But I have a funny trademark story for you guys. Have you noticed that Sierra Mist is not a soda you can buy anymore? There was a soda called Sierra Mist. It was like an off-brand version of Sprite. You can't buy it anymore. They renamed it. They had to completely rebrand it. Yeah, it's called Starry now. They named it after me, so I will be suing it. Do you guys know why that happened? Do you guys know why that happened? Because I think it was like the Pepsi company. They lost the trademark because they let the trademark expire and someone else noticed before them. So the trademark for Sierra Mist apparently lapsed, and somebody, just some random woman noticed and then trademarked Sierra Mist. She bought the trademark, which for like not very much. And then the Pepsi company or whoever owns Sierra Mist was like, hey, we'll give you like $2 billion to sell this trademark back to us. And I don't think she took it. I think she was just like, nah. Nah. And so they had to change. They had to change the name of the soda because they couldn't use it anymore because they let their trademark lapse. And some random woman bought it because she's like, oh, is this available? Sick, yoink. It's so funny. I was thinking about that because I was at Walmart the other day and I saw like the boxes of this green soda called Starry in the aisle, and I'm like, what is that? Oh, that's what Sierra Mist is now. And then it like brought back memories of that freaking story. She should have taken it. Why squat on the name? For the lulz, maybe? Have you ever considered, so it's because it's funny? Imagine how much money that cost the fucking company. Imagine how much that cost them having to rebrand their entire fucking product. It's so funny. Fuck you, $1 million corporation. Gotcha trademark. Gotcha trademark. And you can't have it. That's one way to eat the rich, I suppose, right? Goddamn. I will say this now. That's a fucking Rory move, honestly. I feel like she would have done that just to piss people off. It's like, gotcha trademark, what are you gonna do about it? Here's $2 billion, pretty please. And she's just like, nah, I could just steal that from you when you're not looking. And they're like, what? And she's like, I said I'm gonna rob you. So then I'll have your money and your trademark. And I'm gonna cost you way more by being a pain in your ass. I have a throat tickle. Anyway, that story brings me much joy. It sparks joy, as it were. Very funny. Extremely undemure. Not mindful in the slightest. And we fucking love it. Ba-da-ba. Bringing it back. Circling it back around. The way sound carries in this neighborhood is so weird. I can hear people talking as they walk past my house, and it sounds like they're right on my porch. And it freaks me out every single time it happens. It's like, what the fuck? Who's standing in my front yard like 10 feet from me? Nobody. There's just people talking, and it echoes in a really strange way. The acoustics in this neighborhood are fucking weird. How do you even notice that kind of thing, though? Like, was she casually browsing US patent trademarks? Listen, I don't judge what people do in their free time. Some people do. And I hope they have fun. I can't judge them. I draw anime girls for a living. I'm sure that the people who browse, like, trademark expirations and patents and things and find that interesting probably think that it's weird that people paint D&D minis or play D&D at all. They probably think that's very frivolous. So who are we to cast stones on what people do in their free time? Yeah, God forbid women have hobbies. Let he who is without cringe cast the first stone, as they say. Checking stuff real fast. Okay. One thing I will say, I'm kind of glad that Psy never got so big it had a fandom. Just would have been weird. You know how there's like some, like, people can be a little bit weird about shipping, is like, in Cast Off, you know, a lot of the characters are adults, but a lot of them are also not adults, and so, like, you gotta make sure you're not shipping the kids with the adults. And then sometimes people try to because they don't know the ages of the characters, and we have to be like, no, stop. Everybody in Psy was a minor, except for, like, one character who was the teacher, and I'm just like, I don't want to police, like, shipping wars with characters that are children. Please and thank you. But there was one adult in that main cast, and he was like 25, and the rest of them were in high school, and he was their teacher. And I'm just like, people would have shipped him with somebody, and it would have gotten weird. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to mess with that. Like, all these kids were in high school. I've seen so many people in the fandom start off shipping Ari and Vector and then get corrected so fast. Yeah. I think, to be fair, I think some people do it unintentionally because they don't realize that they don't realize the age gap right away. Because, like, the character, I mean, we know Vector's age in the comic, but we don't know Ariana's age is not explicitly mentioned in the comic yet. And so I can see why people might do that and not realizing. But yeah. Like, I don't want to deal with that if I don't have to. You ever talk too much and then you get short of breath? Oh, I'm yapping too much. Ugh, man, you know what sucks, though? Okay, so guys, what would you say is the objective of my channel? I draw stuff and I talk. Right? I draw stuff and talk. Like, that's my main thing that my channel is. I talk about a variety of different things, but most of my stuff is I draw and I talk. Sometimes I tell stories, sometimes I talk about opinions, sometimes I give tips and stuff. But the point is, my channel is mostly about me drawing and me talking. You would not believe how many comments I get from people saying she talks too much. Hello? Literally the point of my channel. Literally, my channel is I talk and I draw. And I've had people be like, this chick yaps too much. I'm like, why are you even here? It's a channel where I talk about shit. I draw and I talk about shit. That's the entire point of the channel. You dumb shit. Ugh. Don't go looking for those comments because I do defo delete all of them and like block those people as soon as I get those comments, but I'm just like, what? The most baffling one I've gotten though, is I got a comment on my Hasbin Hotel video. Don't go looking for it. I've deleted it. Where someone basically said, this review, like this is almost verbatim, that they said, this review would be better if you put less of your opinions in it. Think about that sentence for a moment, guys. Your review of this show would be better received if you put fewer opinions in it. What the fuck? Oh, it was so fucking just dumb, stupid. I'm like, oh, you're stupid. Okay. It was basically like, this opinion piece would be better if it had fewer opinions. Like, bro, what? Who are you? Oh my god, it was so stupid. Like, okay, I say stupid things sometimes. I will admit that I am not the smartest person in the room generally. I can be dumb. I can say stupid things. I'm not immune to not being 100% intelligent all the time. But normally, when I type up a comment, I read it a couple times to make sure it makes sense before I send it to somebody. So I think this guy might just be stupid. Oh my god. So yeah, favorite subgenre of comments is this chick yaps too much on her channel that is literally about talking and drawing. And this opinion piece would be better if it had fewer opinions in it. Comments. I love my job. Yippee. I love this for me. See, what helps is that I just think, okay, all of these people are so stupid. They are probably like very young children who do not realize exactly how silly they sound. And they will look back on these comments and they will cringe when they are like 25. Because I was that way. I left stupid comments on things sometimes when I was very young and I did not think about certain things and I had a very narrow perspective on certain things. And I look back on those comments that I made on forums such as Gaia Online and I cringe very loudly. So I comfort myself by thinking that these people are probably just very young and they will cringe thinking back on these comments when they are older. But it still hurts my heart a little bit. Think of it this way, at least you know you aren't the dumbest person alive. I am extremely confident in that at the very least. Yippee! Yippee! All right. See, that was much faster. That one went through coloring inking much faster. Wahoo! Yippee! Etc. Yeah, I get funny YouTube comments fairly frequently. Most of the time, they are just being outright, like, they are— I can tell that they are just being rude to get a rise out of me. So I just delete them, and I block them from ever commenting on my channel again, and then I yeet them into the sun. And everything is fine. But sometimes the really special and really stupid ones, I screenshot and I send to the group chat with all my friends in it, and then we have a righteous fucking little giggle. And we have fun here. I can count on one hand the number of negative comments I've gotten that, like, legitimately hurt my feelings. For the most part, it is just, wow, you actually typed that with your own two hands, huh? I feel bad for you, honestly. Like, did you get dropped on your head at some point? Because that is a very silly take, and you might want to get checked for a concussion. If you have takes that bad. Oh god, there was one I deleted this morning, actually. Somebody commented on my pet peeves video, my art pet peeves video, talking, like, I was talking about, it's like, hey, you know, like, a lot of anime art styles just don't even really give their characters noses, they just draw these little dots, and, you know, if you, you know, hold to that shortcut, it's going to hold you back. Noses are like an important part of facial anatomy, and you should learn how to draw them, and it will benefit your art style if you know how to do it. And someone commented, people don't draw noses because noses are hideous, and we shouldn't have to look at them, or like something along those lines. It's like, maybe you should, you know, understand the art style before you start insulting it. I'm like, first of all, I do understand that it is supposed to be an abstraction. I'm saying it's a bad and lazy abstraction, to just not give a character a nose at all. And it looks real bad. And so I'm just like, no, I'm not even gonna humor this. And so I deleted that comment and blocked that person from ever commenting on my videos again. Bye, Todd. See you in hell. And I just fucking shrug and I go on with my day. But just like that is verbatim, the first part at least, of someone saying, it's like, because noses are like, I forget exactly the adjective he used. He's like, noses are disgusting, or like noses are, well, it was like very, like, this guy fucking hates noses. This guy probably thinks that Voldemort is like the sexiest man alive. It's like, noses are fucking hideous. But it wasn't that. I think it started with a G. Grotesque, maybe? I don't fucking know. But it was a fucking wild take to see in my comment section at like 9 o'clock this morning. And I'm like, bro, chill. Why do you fucking hate noses so much? What did a nose ever do to you? Snort your family and you never saw them again? Like a line of cocaine? Just went, and then your family was gone? How do they deal with real living humans with noses, though? Good question. I feel like they just have to every time they look at the face of another person, they're just like, oh god, no, anything but that. Man's just like, I'm saving up money so I can get my nose surgically removed. Noses killed my grandma, okay? Yeah, exactly. It's like, I met a man with a nose once and he killed my family. Noses are disgusting and anime girls shouldn't have them. Delete the nose. God, what's that like makeup tutorial video? We must eliminate the nose. If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church. I haven't watched that video in so long, but it sparks so much joy. And I smile every time I am reminded of it. It went kind of popular on TikTok a few years ago, but it does come from a video a long time ago. that I love. That I love very much. Here, let me see if I can find the video and I'll just drop a link in chat and you guys can watch it on your own time. Oh gosh, what are some keywords? Yes, it's the contouring video. Okay, yes, 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 yes. I have found it. I have located it. Here. It's got almost 2 million views. Hell yeah, it does. Here. How to contour. We must eliminate the nose. She actually has a couple of these videos, and I'm not sure if that's the correct one. But she has several videos. And they're all very good. So... I need to change the color of this background because it does not spark joy. That is better. I am going to make this grayscale for a moment though because I feel like the values are throwing me off. Okay. Let's make the little overall dress darker. There we go. We'll make the bracelet also darker. Excellent. Ugh. That's my baby girl, everybody. This is the protagonist from my not my very first, but one of my first actual webcomic that lasted longer than like a couple of pages. She's adorable and we love her. She is much faster to draw than Lapis. As we are seeing. What an art glow up to. Yeah, I haven't drawn this character in a really long time. I think the last time I actually drew her was a piece that I drew and posted on DeviantArt. Not long before Cast Off started, like a couple months before. Would have been like 2014-ish. So yeah, like 10 years of difference. Good golly. Been a while. These are your drawings for OC-tober. Kinda, sorta. So I might make my October video be an OC-tober video where I just like draw all of my OCs. So that was the original plan, right? Was 30 original characters for 30 days. But I would start the drawings early and just like post one per day. But then I was like, okay, 30 drawings in a month might be too much work. So that is maybe a little too much. But what if I just like, you know, did a general video where I drew all of my old OCs and I talked about them? Like that I could still do, and I could maybe, you know, try to have it out in October so they could take advantage of like the OC-tober, haha, yay, type of thing. But then I was like, okay, well, maybe I could take, because I had, you know, about 30 characters on my list. And I was like, okay, that's, you know, there's 31 days in October and there's about 30 characters on this list. I could make do with that. But then I realized that like 10 of those characters were NPCs from the D&D game I run, and I thought that it might be better if I saved those characters for like talking about in an eventual video where I just talk about the campaign that I run. And also it would be a little bit easier, and the video would, because I'm planning on talking about each character for like 3 or 4 minutes. And if I do, you know, like 30 characters, that's a really long fucking video. So it's like, okay, maybe I cut out all of the D&D NPCs because I don't really use them for much aside from, you know, our D&D game. They're like side characters. They're not as important. I don't have them fleshed out as much. What if I just stick to the characters that I'm really passionate about? And so I cut those characters out of the list. And now I'm at like, okay, so now I've got about 20. That's a decent amount for a video, but even then it's like, okay, I'm not sure if I can finish 20 drawings before October is over, because that is a lot of work. Even if I start in September, that's still a lot of work, right? And so now I'm thinking, like, okay, well, maybe I can split the video into 2 parts, and I can do, like, my old OCs, like, I can do 10 and 10, and I can split it up into 2 separate months. That way I can still have a video out for OC-tober, but it doesn't put too much pressure on me, and then each video is a little shorter. I haven't 100% decided yet, but the point is I have about 20 characters in the list, and I want to talk about each one for about like 3 or 4 minutes, roughly. So we shall see. Me over here feeling smug about you cutting it in half when I told you to do it before. I mean, like I said, I might still keep it all together. It's gonna depend, because, okay, Skillshare is sponsoring my October video. I've already talked to them about it. They want to do it. Because Skillshare loves me. And they want to throw money at me again, which I'm totally okay with. I think whether or not I split it in half is just going to depend on how many of these drawings I can get done. Because Skillshare wants the video mid-October. They want it in the first half of October, which means that I only have about a month to finish as many drawings as possible. And I don't want this production on this video to completely take over my life, right? So I could just have this be my, I could, like, you know, be less beholden to what my sponsors are and just have the OC videos be my October and November videos and just say, screw it, they can sponsor, is like, because no one's making me tailor the sponsors to what my videos are. I'm just kind of doing that to myself, but like, I don't have to. They don't request that. It's just kind of something I've been doing because it feels right, but I don't have to. They're not forcing me to do that. So I don't know, maybe it would just be easier to split it in 2 and have the OC videos be October and November. I'm just thinking out loud at this point. Because I definitely don't want to overwork myself. Like I said, I do want to have enough free time that I can work on the D&D video as well. And also, you know, just all my other stuff. My thing is, I never want YouTube to stress me out because YouTube is not my main job. YouTube is not my main income stream, and it probably will never be my main income stream, so I'm not gonna let it stress me out like a main income stream. I try to take it easy, take it chill, you know? The reason the D&D video is so big and hashtag problematic in regards to my workload is just because I'm doing it to myself. Because I want it to be good, and I want it to mean something, and I want it to be important, and I want people to like it, but I'm not sponsored for... The D&D video is not gonna have sponsors on it, that's just me being extra. And loving our D&D campaign a whole lot. It's not problematic, it's just, it's causing problems with my schedule, I suppose is what I should say, because I'm making it too big. But I'm excited about it. I get excited about it because it's a fun project that I'm really looking forward to finishing someday. Eventually. Perhaps. We'll see. I'm just thinking about it now. That probably would be easiest, right? Just do the OC-tober video, but split it in half so it's about 10 characters each, and then do that for both October and November. That video is already almost very, like, pretty much scripted. The first half of it anyway, so that would be very easy to bust out for October. You could probably get a D&D homebrew Kickstarter to sponsor you for that one. I don't want a sponsor break in the middle of my D&D video. Absolutely not. I am not taking sponsors for the D&D video because I don't want a sponsor break in the middle of my D&D video, you know? That one's special. That one does not get to be tainted by sponsorships. That one's too special, too pure, too close to my heart for me to stop this dramatic story and go, this video is brought to you by fucking Raid Shadow Legends. No, absolutely not. I don't want a sponsor for the D&D video. I want it to just be, you know? Get sponsored by What's Left of Us. I heard that show's pretty good. Yeah. I might throw in a thing at the end, like the very end during the credits saying, hey, if you guys like this story, we actually also have a campaign that is being live streamed. And so if you want more characters, more story that takes place in the same universe, you can come watch What's Left of Us. Because canonically, the Thursday game, the one that I am making the D&D video based off of, and What's Left of Us take place simultaneously. They're happening in the same universe and they are happening at the same time. So, like, I might put in a shout out for What's Left of Us at the end of the D&D video, but the D&D video will not have a sponsor on it. I refuse. No. What if you got sponsored by D&D? I mean, Wizards of the Coast are kind of butts, though, is the thing. Wizard of the Coast is a bunch of butts, though, is the thing. We keep having to yell at them because they keep making, like, these big sweeping decisions that affect their players a whole lot. And then people have to yell at them to get them to roll it back, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, TLDR, TLDL, the D&D video is important. I want to get it done. I want to do it on my own terms. I want it done by the end of the year. No fucking sponsors. Cause like, I'm making the D&D video is like, it's for me, but it's also for my friends. And it's just like, I'm not making this for the money, I am making this out of love. Like, this is a passion project that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the people whose stories are also going to be told by it. And it's a very meaningful thing, and so, you know, I'm not doing it for the money, I'm doing it as like an act of love and appreciation for the story that we all tell together. Because I love my friends. I love my friends very much, and I want to make nice things for them to show them how much I love them. It's kind of funny. I didn't realize it when I was first making her. I didn't realize it until later in retrospect. But like I mentioned, Verity, the character that I play in that, she is a devotion paladin. And I wanted her to be a devotion paladin, and I'm not planning on multi-classing her. I want to play her fully through as that devotion paladin because that class resonates so strongly with how I've been playing her as a character and how I want to keep playing her as a character. Verity as a character is very much just, her whole driving force is love. Like, her whole thing is like, she just loves her friends so much. And she is just this person who is just filled with this love, and that she would do anything to protect that love, right? And I didn't realize when I was first making her how much of myself I put into this character. But I kind of did. And then it's just like, oh, that was not intentional, but I relate to her a lot. Cause like I've just been thinking about it a lot, you know, that I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, that when I look at the world and how fucked up everything is, I'm like, you can't fix all of it, right? You can't. You cannot fix all the problems in the world. But I look around me and I see problems that I can fix. And what I see right in front of me is problems that my friends are having. I see the people around me who I love very much, and I see them struggling, and I'm like, I want to help, and there are ways that I can help, so I am going to do that. That has very much been, like, I haven't really given it much thought until recently, but that is very much how I have been informing my actions for the last couple of years now. It's like, I can't do anything about the ozone layer or global warming or something like that, but I see that my friends are suffering, and I can fucking do something about that. And so like I said, I didn't consciously think about it when I was creating her, but that is very much the mindset that Verity was created with. She is a person who loves her friends so much, and she wants to do everything in her power to scream. No, not scream, to help them. I was reading Sly's message, and it threw me off. And damn it, you threw off my groove. Sly. Damn it. But no, yeah, she's just a very good baby, and she wants to help her friends, and I didn't realize it until way later, but that is very much based in kind of my own mindset of the world, and I'm just like, oh, maybe that's why she's kind of taken over my brain so much. Well, can't do anything about it now. Time to just write all this sappy nonsense on my Unvale account and just make everybody else sad about my baby. My poor sweet baby, who has been through so much, but still keeps fighting because she loves her friend so much. I'm like, I wanted her to be a paladin because I wanted her to be like this beacon of hope for people. And, you know, simultaneously, I kind of hope that I want to be a crutch for people. I want to be someone that, you know, shut up, Jinx, no! How long have you been here? No! I just love my friends, okay? And I'm being sappy and embarrassing. No. Anyway, long story short, I love my friends very much and I want them to be happy. And that is how I do things. And then I take that desire and I make it into a character. Yippee. Yippee! You were still doing the line art when I got it? Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, no. Oh, no, I've been all embarrassing and sappy on here, and people, my friends are listening. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Everybody say hi to Jinx! Everybody say hi! Where's my freaking water? It was cute. Shut up! Shut up! Here, for the record, guys, I said that our Thursday game is the one that the D&D video is based on, and I got my fellow players to do some voice lines for their characters. If y'all didn't know, Jinx is actually in our Thursday game. So yes, you might hear the luxurious voice of the Wild Jinx, famous YouTuber. In the D&D video when it comes out eventually. You know, hoping for the end of the year, but we will frickin' see. Jinx's character is our notable influencer. The party influencer. She's very important. She's a good bean. When is the "don't you know who I am" part? That's towards the end. That's a little thingy that I snuck in there. I told the folks who were going to be voicing their characters in that section of the video to just be like, hey, if y'all want to just like come up with some little itty bitty tidbits that I can play really quietly during the background of this one scene where you guys are getting interrogated, you are more than welcome to freestyle it and do some silly shit, because that would be very funny. And so Jinx said these lines are so good. It's like, don't you know who I am? How dare you treat me like this? It's so good. It's so good. I'm mad that I can't use more. But it's just like a real little segment. But I might try to throw in some more because it's very fucking cute. She just wants to kick ass as cutely as possible. Yeah, Naomi is basically, and this is self-described, Naomi is what if, Rarity. What if Rarity from Friendship is Magic was also a monster hunter and had a pet dragon, and it was cool. We love Naomi in this house. She's baby. She's the, if you guys have seen that picture I drew of the full party, Naomi is the one with the blue hair. She is a delight, and we love her. But yes, see this character and more in the D&D video. When it comes out freaking eventually. Oh yeah, the music did stop. What the hell? Hello? I don't know if I pressed a button on accident or something. Weird. It comes out when Silk Song releases? No. No. I haven't played that game, but I know the jokes that it's just like, it's never coming out. But dang it, I do want the D&D video done. Some point soon. I'm gonna get it done, damn it. It's just gonna take a bit. It's an hour and a half long, guys. I think, like, let me stress that again in case you guys have forgotten. The D&D video is not just a video of me talking about the D&D campaign. I basically wrote, it's like 14,000 words. The script for the video is 14,000 words of me basically doing a summary audiobook of the campaign. It is going to be an hour and a half long. I am doing an animatic. It's feature length. It is a feature length video. It is going to be long. And that's just the first part. And I'm drawing illustrations for all of it. It's like a minimum of 1 image per minute. I'm trying to do as few illustrations as possible just to make it easier. But you know, sometimes you gotta show shit, and sometimes it's a movie. It is. And I'm getting through it, but it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Please be so nice to me. It's getting into feature film territory. No, it unironically is. It is the length of a feature film. Like, I don't know the precise length it is going to be because I am still waiting on voice lines from a couple of people. And there's a monologue at the end that Jay has to help me rewrite, and he has not done it yet. And how that is rewritten is going to make the length vary. But basically, at the very end, there's like an exposition-y flashback saying, hey, here's all the shit you missed while you were dead for 200 years. And it's just like this long thing of Rodin narrating kind of all the shit that happened while Verity was dead. And so Jay says he's gonna help me rewrite that, but he hasn't yet. But depending on how long that ends up being, the video could be anywhere from like, it's probably gonna be about an hour and a half. It's a long fucking video. Geez, a full hour. Hour and a half. Hour and 30 minutes. 90 minutes this video is going to be. At least. I want this to be... Okay, so does anybody else have, like... I don't want to call them emotional support video essays, because sometimes the stuff I put in there is very much just, like, dark shit. And so I worry that if I call it emotional support video essays, people are going to think, why is this your emotional support? It's kind of fucking weird. It's like people who listen to true crime, right? It's just like, this is my emotional support true crime podcast. Why is true crime your emotional support? Shit like that. Anyway, I have like my quote unquote emotional support video essays that I come back to. They're usually about like 4 hours long, like 2 to 4 hours long. And I have a playlist of them where it's just like, these are the ones that I continuously come back to because they are long enough. I can put them on in the background and then I don't have to change the video for like 3 or 4 hours. And it's really convenient. There's part of me that wants the D&D video to be that for people. I want this to be a story that people can just like put on in the background and enjoy, you know? It's a nice, like, it's gonna be the longest video I've ever done. It's gonna be a saga. There will be multiple parts. I'm just trying not to get too far ahead of myself and so far as like what the later parts will entail. But I am famously good at getting ahead of myself, so we'll see. I've already technically started scripting part 2, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little itty bitty bit. I was really bored on the plane home from MomoCon. Don't judge me. All right. Okay, I think I want to change the color on the shading again. Yeah, that's nice and vibrant. I think maybe this would look nice with a yellow background. Maybe I feel like it needs to be a little bit darker for the little flowers. So, oh no, not that color. Not that color though. Oh, that looks nice. That looks cute. Little magic-y sparklies. Yay! And then we will add a little stroke, a little outline. Yippee! All right, and I think that means that this one is done just in time for the stream to be over. Whee! Yippee! But yes, so we are going to go ahead and call it for today. Because it is Friday and I am Eepy. And I did 2 whole art pieces. That's like 1/10 of what I gotta do for this video. But yeah, I will probably be streaming some more next week. I think I like my idea of using this for my next few videos. Just because I'm already working on it, it's easy, and OC-tober is fun. So I will probably be streaming this a few times next week. Keep an eye on my Discord / my live tab. I will be posting, you know, videos once I'll be posting waiting rooms once I have a better idea of what my schedule for next week is going to look like. But yes. When will costume contest winners be announced? When I have time to go through them all. Probably not till closer to the middle of the month. But yes. So I will see you guys later. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Don't forget to go get your vector. Links in the pinned comment and also in the description if you want to get yourself a vector plushie. The makeship campaign is only running for a couple more days, and we have like 12. We got to get like 12 more backers on the plushie for it to get made for real. So yes, don't forget to do that. But yes, I will be back streaming again next week, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!